Hello, today is October 4th, 2023. This is SIG Node CI meeting. Let's jump straight to the agenda. Let's see. Myself here. So it looks like we only have one item from Kevin.
Yeah. Can you click on, did I share that doc correctly?
Yes, I can open it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, so last week, I guess I was looking at the pre-submits and trying to triage all the ones that are failing, and I've made a lot of progress on some of them are complete. The one that haven't really got a chance to look into is the kubelet serial GCE ETE huge pages. The pre-submit is failing, but the corresponding periodic is working. I don't know too much about the huge pages support in kubelet, so I'm not really sure. I can share if it's easier, but yeah, this one I don't think it's anything to do with the recent changes. It just looks like the node is not getting up and ready.
Yeah,
Uh,
that seems to be the case.
and Yeah, so there's a few ones I think that also uh hold on, I'll share. It might be easier just for me to point on the couple.
Oh, sure.
Their screen. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I think uh this C group one, I haven't I haven't been able to figure out what the issue is. I thought it was related to graceful node shutdown, but I think looking at this, I think it might be uh, timing out. And it ran for 4 hours, so I don't know what the deal with that one is. Uh, and the other main item that I've been looking into is I posted an issue on the test infra, but as I think most of you are well aware, the test infra is trying to migrate a lot of the jobs to use the community cluster. Uh, there is some work needed in cryo, and I was able to I pointed out a couple of these pre-submits, memory QoS and cryo. These are two that I actually was able to fix. The problem is related to when you switch to the community cluster. I think you have to set up your SSH keys, and someone has already did that for the cryo jobs. And that's why they have been, I guess, appended with this K8's infra prow build. This is a community cluster, and they had them available for C groups version 1 and C groups version 2, but there is not a corresponding one for serial or swap or huge pages, actually, I think. So had to check huge pages, but that is part of the reason why converting the cryo jobs to run on the community cluster doesn't work unless you change the. And really, what these point to is, I think, these YAML files, which end up pointing to this ignition file. No, wait, it's not right. It's this latest here. You can see here are some of the prowl builds that have been converted, and they point to an ignition file with the correct setup for the community cluster. So generally, I guess all I need to know is I'm working on this. There are some PRs that are still up. I think for Sergey, there is one related to the sidecar one. I have a PR for it to try and fix I think the sidecar. I think Todd pointed out that the feature toggle is not enabled for this job, and so I do have a PR up for that one here that's just waiting for approval. Yeah, so no, wait, wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, this is the PR here for fixing that sidecar issue, and then there is some questions of the DRA alpha job. Some of these alpha jobs are kind of interesting because depending on when people promote features, sometimes some of these jobs don't have any jobs running. And one of the suggestions for the DRA one was just to remove the job. I think Sergey has pushed back on that one, so we'll continue the discussion on that one. But yeah, I just wanted to give an update on trying to get some of these pre-submits working. I think, and then I did do a canary test for cryo just to try and see if my hunch was correct. This is actually converting, this cryo job is converting to using the community cluster. I titled it canary just so that it doesn't block anything while I'm still figuring this out. But it looks like it's actually working fine. Why I went a little carefully with this is because I broke I guess this is the release blocking informing. When I tried to convert to the community cluster for this job, I actually failed. The job was failing consistently. Or maybe it's not this one. Yeah, it started failing. So just if you hear people moving some of the cryo jobs to the community cluster, there is a little bit more work than just adding resources and adding a cluster name. So just be on the lookout for that. I want to be working on that to try and get some of these ignition files converted to using the community cluster and trying to get these migrated. That's all I have.
Yeah, thanks for putting up this list, Kevin.
Yeah, good work here. Thank you.
Okay. If anyone has any other agenda item, we can go through it now. If not, I will jump to the test triage. Okay, let's jump that now. Okay, let's see. Okay, I noticed a bunch of performance test flaking. Okay, this has been passing for a while. It just failed now. I don't know if it's worth investigating. Let's maybe wait for the next run. It's fine. These are the serial tests you mentioned earlier, I believe. A bunch of failures in 127, 128. Let's see, kubelet. No failure here, but it seems to be fine now. Topology manager is still broken. So Fedora, both regular and serial are failing. However, the Ubuntu is passing. The serial is failing still. Container D size. This is container D node end-to-end 1.7. Okay, this is. So they started failing. What was it? A week ago. Let's see. I want to look into this one because this one is new.
Yeah, seems new.
Failed to initialize shop. Container placing 3 point already. Post initialize. Anyone has any context on this?
My feeling is this might be related to the switch of the pod utils.
Okay.
At least what I am seeing is it looks like what's happening is it's unable to clone the container RD branch. So I don't know if anyone knows container RD off the top of their head if that release branch is titled correctly. I'm not as familiar with that code
Let's see.
base.
What is the name of the branch?
Yeah, it looks correct, but maybe we miss this refs. You remember you need to specify refs now in job description.
Okay, in the body of the. Okay.
Well, actually, it's release slash 1.7, not release dash 1.7.
Oh, release slash. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's definitely wrong. The question is who modified this. So this is the original file.
I think these were converted with all the SIG Node jobs being converted to using the decorate true.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Release dash 1.7, so slash 1.7.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need to check that. Can anyone help me file one of the bugs for that? I can take a look into that. Shouldn't be that
Just put an item on agenda and then after.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll after.
Yeah, the naming convention with slash is very confusing on continuity. Many tools don't like it. Like GitHub Actions are a nightmare to configure.
Okay, I added an item. Let's see. Let's continue with that. I'm guessing what's confusing is why is 1.6 passing and 1.7 not passing.
Are you still looking at this tab? Or you need to switch?
Yes. Oh yeah. Let me go back here. Because yeah, 1.7 is failing, but 1.6 is passing. Then if I'm gonna open it really quick. It probably won't tell me much here. I'm gonna go back to the group. There's a release at 7, but there's not. Okay, the other one hasn't been updated.
No, you see, release slash 1.6. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine. Okay, that's probably the issue. Okay. Let's see. Continuing with this, I see another one. This is the serial that you talked about, I believe. Group 2. Influence serial. Sir, on EC2. Eviction failed as usual. Resource managers. These have been flaking for a while. Particularly the metrics. Okay, that's all on container D. Cryo. Event display. Couple failures. End-to-end eviction.
I think we have a PR up for Evented Plague. I think, Ryan, am I remember that correctly?
Yes.
So we should hopefully have a fix for those flakes. I think it just needs to be approved, and then we can I think we tested it on the pre-submits.
Let's see, and the other one feeling is serial IO, which I think you also talked about. Let's see.
Can you look at that one? Can you look at logs just real quick?
Yeah, let's open one of the jobs. Interrupted. I'm gonna go through the logs really quick.
Maybe we can ask Christoph on the team to look at this one. It's sort of weird that this is the only test failing.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, let's move to the next one then. Full time theory. It failed the last build. I don't know if it's. I mean, it was passing. I've seen some failures before. Let's see. I mean, let's see this one. This one. This looks unstable, but it's passing over. Okay, I think we're gonna ignore this for now. Let's see. Signal kernel model management. Okay, this is flake in general. Super flakes. But overall good. No problem detector looks good. There was a flake on the last build. We can let's suspect it was a flake. Treat profiles operator. There's one. Okay. And the image pushes is fine. Any other test grid we want to look into? If not, I'll go to test triage.
There was, excuse me,
Mhm.
there was a question on SIG Node Slack around the node problem detector, and I think in the conversion of using KOP, somehow that's how you say it correctly,
Mhm.
they were pointing out that the node problem detector tests were failing for their conversion. I don't know who is a good person to
I
ask
have
about
some context on MPD, yeah, but let's see. I believe there are two different. One is a job that runs as part of K.K, K/K, and the other one is like MPD end-to-end tests. They're both different.
that. Okay.
Let's see. Do you know if they filed an issue? I don't find an issue on them.
It's just on this. Well, it was on an email.
Mhm.
Someone, Muhammad, asked about the node problem detector test
Right.
under test ETE node no problem detector. I guess.
Let me take a look, even if I can at least take a look. I'm not sure if I can answer there, but I just saw the question in Slack. I'll reply after the meeting, or at least take a look into it after the meeting. Let's see. Before we move on, yeah. The rate end-to-end exclusive interruptive test. Is a pull request. It already has an assignee. Okay, looks like it's being reviewing. I think it just needs review. Okay, I'm just gonna move it there. Let's see. Yeah, switch to use Kubernetes infra build ignition files. Okay, this is the one you mentioned. Do you need a reviewer here?
Uh, yeah, but I mean, I don't. It's not quite ready yet. I was
Okay.
probably next week. I'm going to try and get the ignition files set up. but I think, yeah.
I'm gonna set it as work in progress if it's okay with
Sounds good.
you. Thanks. Is there a label for work in progress?
You can, or I can edit it and then I can just add the whip
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, if you can edit the title, that should add the label automatically, I believe. Oh, it's already a hold. That's fine. No worries. Okay. Let's see the next one. Drop node kubelet serial container alpha from the press submit.
Yeah, this is the one that there was some discussion on. If I remember right, this was a DRA. If you check at that job, it's basically DRA has both a feature flag and you need to tell it about certain scheduling APIs it needs to use. And the alpha job was not turning those on. Originally, I went with turning them on, but I think there was some pushback from DRA around there's already a job that covers this and they're trying to promote DRA to beta. And this is the only jobs that are actually running in this job currently. So I don't know if so I guess the suggestion was to delete it, which maybe we don't want to if we ever do flag serial container RD jobs. Like maybe we still want this running in that case.
Yeah, if we'll deliver, if we'll have new feature, we will want to have some pre-submit on that. So I would suggest just to remove all the DRI tests from it.
All right, you
Just
can put it as waiting on author. I'll get to that and just exclude
Awesome.
DRA.
I think Mike remembers how he cleaned up all the skips from alpha, like skips that no longer exist.
Oh yeah, that was a funny story. And then we have feature gate for alpha features of sidecar. Okay.
Yeah, I added a comment here that ideally we want all alpha enabled as true. However, Gunju reminded me that we had a problem with that. So I don't know like how much time we want to spend on troubleshooting why we cannot run with all alpha true. So perhaps if we can spend a little bit of time and enable, I mean, job will be more consistent if it's all alpha true.
I think at least what Ganju pointed out was I think the all alpha might work for like a single component, but I don't know. I think sidecar might have feature toggles in other areas.
Yeah, but it's not sidecar job, it's alpha job.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, the issue is what happens is the all feature gates all alpha true. I think like sidecar it's turned on, but I don't think the service feature gates I think turns the feature on for non-kubelet features.
Yeah, we have two different flags for that, but I think I want to understand what is breaking when we enable all alpha true for service. So is it a product code issue or it's something we misconfigure on a end-to-end job as well? Like
Yeah, I guess if the sidecar working group's still on, you could look into that one. I don't know much about the sidecar stuff.
yeah, I don't think it's sidecar specific. It's just this is an all alpha job, and the problem is whether what will fail on server side if we enable all the feature gates. Did you ever run this locally or just modifying this?
Oh, I did not.
Let me try to run it locally, and maybe I will ask Gunju if he remembers what exactly failing. Yeah, Mike, you can. Oh, I already assigned to me, so it's fine.
Let's see. Next one, limit the usages of Francie to minimum number of packages. Do not be vendoring Francie as a library. Okay. It doesn't look like an issue with I don't know if why it's in testing.
Because it changes a little bit of test, so even
Oh,
one
okay.
triggers that. So just archive it. Yeah, move to archive it. That's why I have archived it. Otherwise, it's really
It's
hard
easier,
for
yeah.
parts. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, I'll just leave it on the regular, not PR. This is switch from Golang mock to Virgo. Why?
I think it's the same. Whenever it's like more than 100 files changed, it's not test specific.
I mean, this is test, right? Because it's mock. So I guess more like unit test probably. Oh, my bad. Mm,
Yeah, I think just move to archive it. I don't think it's specific
I
at all.
agree. Yeah, I don't think it relates to SIG Node CI. Okay, moving on. PRI end-to-end test non-graceful node shutdown. Didn't we talk about this earlier? Well, it's already on review. It already has something. I'm just gonna move it to. End-to-end, remove redundant spaces in test names. Okay. There's no C. This is related to test. I don't know if we want to consider it part of SIG Node CI. Or if we want to archive this. Um, I'm gonna leave it on the SIG Node PR and remove it from here. Following the same from the previous one. And finally, Kubernetes KPI CRI update. This is a feature. I don't think this should be in Kevin. This doesn't look like test, right? It's just a feature.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, ignore it. It's just I had to make one change in the test.
That's fine. Let's go back to here just to make sure I triage everything. Yes. Okay, it's all triage. Okay. With that in mind, I think we finished test triage. Anyone wants to drive bug triage?
Yeah, I can do it. Let me find a proper window. I too many windows open. Can you see it?
Yes, it works.
Okay. We only have 4 bugs to triage, but maybe we can get into news information today. It's a bit slow today. But I will need to resize my window, otherwise. Okay, oh, never mind. Okay, 3 hours ago, status 404 returned error. Can't fire the container with IT. Okay, what is this? Kubernetes.
Actually, I looked into this one a little bit. I even commented on it. I think it's, well, that one ticket he links to, someone did a lot more research on the cryo side. I think if we want to tackle it on the Kubernetes side, I think I asked some questions. We could just add it as needs information, or we could close it and suggest they open it up on, or I don't know, it could. I was thinking it was a cryo. I know those logs sound cryo, but it's hard to know.
Yeah, and they didn't specify what is runtime.
They did, I think, in the detail.
Right. Is it okay that they used 128 cryo with 127 Kubernetes?
It's like not ideal, but it probably should work. I don't think that this issue would happen from this. Can you assign this to me and I can take a look?
Oh, it was Peter, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, there's misleading documentation around eviction and image garbage collection. Kevin, you did it, right?
Yeah, I don't know where meeting it was, but someone brought it up, and I think the general assumption was that if we probably haven't deprecated that image GC high threshold percent since 1.1, we're probably not going to be doing it anytime soon. So I think mostly, yeah, the work is just clarifying like what it really like. I think what it, looking at the docs, I think it's where we deprecated those fields and we're using the eviction hard ones for eviction, but for image garbage collection, we still use those fields, so they're not really deprecated.
I wonder what this SIG scattering doing here.
Someone assigned it. I tried to remove it, but I guess it still goes to the project board.
Oh, I see. Okay, let's figure it out. Somehow board is super slow today. I think because of triage, this grew that much. Yeah, need to start fixing bugs instead of just triaging them. Okay, flaky E2E not conformance tests is enabled feature. Some
That's the
disabled.
one we talked about earlier in the meeting.
Yeah, we have the PR for it.
Lake, I think. What kind of flake already here?
Circuit was flaking, not failing always. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'll remove kind bug just to clear it out of here. My browser is extremely slow. Okay. Last one untriaged. Okay, 5 days ago. There is a possible data race for vendor platform.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
remember
spoke to Ramesh about this, and I think he
cross-linked
acknowledged the issue. Sorry.
Harshal, what you were saying?
Oh, sorry. I was saying I talked to Ramesh, who sent the PR for the evented plague failing test, and he also he says that this is a legit issue, and he has the fix for this as well.
Okay, is this person or somebody else?
Oh no, you can wait. Let me get his GitHub. Yes, Sai Ramesh. I think Sasha is CCing him. That's the guy.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder how he found this. Do you know?
So they're saying that the way evented plague startup is written, there's a go routine and there's a possible race condition there. It's not something you observe in our test cases, but it could go run into race, is what they're saying.
Do you know it's just static tool analysis? Oh, is this reported by static? Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay. So I propose we go through a few news information things. As long as my browser will cooperate. Okay, config map becomes empty. You should have is negative. Let's see what the latest here. Okay, somebody added SIG Node just 4 days back. Okay, I cannot understand what this is saying before I read the image issue description. Like config map mentioned above. Okay, so they run the thing out of disk with just filling up with the empty files. I wonder what was the expectation from this. So they're saying that they create a config map, then they fill up the disk, and then they try to change the config map, and kubelet fails.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We don't even, from what I know of the eviction manager, we wouldn't really even try to clear it up.
where they're writing to an unmanaged portion of the disk. And so sort of odd to support something like that, I think.
Yeah, they were saying in the description, it looks like they actually have something writing to a config map in the pod, I guess. So that's probably why they're running into it.
I wonder if we can achieve the same, but by just having too many config maps and each of them too heavy. I would say it's legitimate. I just don't know what to do with it. Yeah, I remember somebody was working on adding not ready for kubelet when disk is corrupted. So maybe it's similar situation. I think it's totally legit. Yeah, I thought triage accepted will remove this information, but another bug. Pod restore failed after using checkpoint provided by kubelet. What are you talking about?
I think it's like that forensic checkpointing feature.
Oh, you think it's forensic checkpointing? So we have two checkpoints, right? There's forensic checkpointing and there is also topology manager checkpoint. Or live migrate pod, yeah. You're right. Migrate pod. Okay. Yeah, what's the problem? It seems like cryo try to restore the pod according to the container name.
So what I remember of that forensic checkpoint feature, this is explicitly out of scope, but I don't really know. Like, at least unless my knowledge is, unless the knowledge is more up to date than what's in the CAP. The CAP explicitly says that's not supported yet.
I wonder if I will get suggestion for Adrian. No.
There's Adrian Reber. The fourth one down.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. Clear restart counter. It's a famous issue with more than 100 upvotes, I believe. Yeah, 107 now. I wonder what's the latest update. Okay. Okay, have it up. Yeah, restart counter is not easy to reset. Okay. I still don't see clear justification, like when people will want to reset counter. Oh, and it's not a bug, so yeah. It just picked up by this query. Okay, I will double check on that later. Add to label. Garbage collector for container images is unpredictable and inconsistent. I think we asked the question one time, sometime back, asking if it's the same issue as with layers or not. And 4 images with random content, each says 3 GB approximately and 6 GB uncompressed. So now just goes into mayhem mode and deletes more images than necessary. Yeah, I think garbage collector will just delete many images, right? So there is garbage collection and eviction. So garbage collection will just delete everything that is unused with minimal age.
Right.
It's working as expected. So Peter, can they increase the minimal age? Do you think it will help?
Sorry, I got distracted. I need to catch up here.
Yeah, so this is about garbage collection, and so I remember reading the cap. I didn't know about it. There is a minimal age setting as well on Kubernetes. So garbage collection wouldn't delete anything.
Right.
Do you think if you will just increase minimal age, it will help them? So what garbage collection will do if it cannot remove anything because of minimal age? Will it just fail, or will eviction will kick in eventually?
Yeah. So I don't think that those images would be qualified. So it would basically just continue trying the eviction loop until enough space is available, or like it would eviction might mark the node as unschedulable. But yeah, it basically deletes all, like when it's qualifying images for garbage collection, it doesn't check at each stage. So it isn't like, okay, I deleted one image. Is this image, like, are we good now? It's just going to go through all of them and be like, okay, this is qualified and I'm almost at capacity. Let's delete it.
But eviction works differently, right?
And I think that that's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, garbage collection, not eviction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eviction would eviction clear up the unused images, so it will only go after pods?
I need to double check.
By the way, it's also interesting scenario here. So what they want to do is they want to remove as little as possible. So it's another policy. We may think of garbage collection. Instead of removing as much as possible, remove as little as possible.
Yeah, that would, it would basically be a change in behavior. Yeah, I could see that being a useful toggle in this case.
Okay, I think we had time. I will leave it at this. I will remove it from board. Okay, thank you everybody. See you next week. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.